All right, what's up, guys? So today I'm a mess, and we're gonna make a mess of the coffee. I need to finish the painting today. I'm gonna take you downstairs and show you in a bit, but first let's get this coffee started. So what we're gonna do today is I've got a lot of this house blend, which I said was pretty good, but was also more like a dessert coffee, right? It sits kind of heavy, and it's something that you like have with some French beignets or whatever they're called, and sit there and sip and have like a small glass, not the massive fucking mug that I have. So I ain't got time for that shit. Now, don't get me wrong. I love going to Cafe Du Monde in uh, New Orleans, getting their coffee with the chicory in it and some beignets just drenched in powdered sugar. That was amazing. If you've never done that, I highly suggest it. You're missing out if you go to New Orleans and don't stop by Cafe Du Monde. But so what we're gonna do here is we're gonna pour this in the tin. Now I've got two tins. One still, one's the Giant Eagle one. We're putting this in the Dollar General one. There was like a tiny bit left of that in there, but it was just like basic shitty coffee, right? Then we have this one, which the last thing we put in here was the cinnamon coffee. So I'm keeping both of these tins just to differentiate them. The purple one, because it's like the color of royalty, is that one's gonna be the flavored coffees. If I ever open a bag that doesn't reseal itself and I need to pour a flavored coffee in there, and this one, because it's red, it's the color of blood. This is just gonna be a bloodbath where we mix all the shit together. Now, this morning I made the Guatemala. I made 2 scoops of this house blend and 3 scoops of the house blend and 2 scoops of the Guatemalan blend. Of the ones we've done so far, Guatemala is my favorite by far. And it was, when you mix the house blend with other coffees, it gets a lot better. It's just a lot more drinkable. Not that it's not great by itself as a dessert coffee. It would probably make a really good cold brew if you were to do that, but I don't do cold brews. Then we've also got the Colombian, which is the classic, like, golden standard of coffees. Really good for when you want to mix a bunch of cream and sugar and stuff into your coffee. We're gonna mix all three together. My favorite, I preferred the Guatemalan mixed with the house blend over the Colombian mixed with the house blend. There's the least amount of Guatemalan in here, mostly Colombian. It's like kind of a mess on the rim. Let's get that shaken down in there a bit so I don't get it. Not that oh shit, I still have the old grounds in here and I didn't put new water in. But yeah, so while I'm doing this, it's like basically the same coffee and it's not even an hour. I'm not gonna wash it out. Normally I wash it out, but we're just cutting corners today, I guess. Not really cutting corners, just optimizing time. So basically what the plan is for today is to finish the painting. I don't know about get it all done, but at the very least, I'm going to get the trim done and the first coat of finished paint. Hopefully, if we don't get the second coat done, we do the, I should have just brought the thing over and wash it out because I wash the pot out too. Although the pot's the more important thing to wash out because that's what really affects the taste if you don't wash it out. That just, as long as you wash that out and don't let anything grow in it, it's good. I've seen people that, let's just say I wouldn't drink coffee out of some people's coffee pots if you held a gun to my head, you know? It's like, no thank you. I don't want to be shitting my brains out for 2 weeks. Like, maybe you shouldn't be making coffee if there's mold spores in it. I don't get some people. Or like other people that they just like have burnt coffee burnt to the coffee pot. It's like, no thank you. The only burnt stuff at all is like, I think there's a tiny bit on the bottom because sometimes when I pull it out, it'll like drip down, you know? Because I don't wait. My pull out game is strong. I don't miss that opportunity. So I'm going to stop. 5. We need 5 scoops. This is all mixed up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's got an interesting scent when it's all mixed together. It's like coffee cardboard. By the way, this is 3. We still have 1 left that we haven't opened yet. We have the Adventure Blend, and I feel like that's going to be my favorite. I don't know why. I just have, my intuition tells me so. There's something heavy I want to talk about this week, but I'm still working up the courage to do that. So we're going to wait until I feel like I'm ready to do that before I make the Adventure Blend. Watch it be like the most disappointing blend ever. While we're doing that, we're going to wash out the coffee mug. It's going to take like 2 minutes for that to brew, at least enough that we can pull out the mug, pull out the pot, and pour some in here. So the plan right now is to getting this done with the, is that Charlie? Yeah, I just saw him sprint around outside. Now he's meowing to get in. Let me let him in real quick. I just saw a gray streak go past the window. Hey, cat, what's up? Really? All right. So, yeah, the plan this week right now is to 100% make sure we finish the painting. That's the only priority, the top priority. And then after the painting is done, we're going to do the 24-hour stream in celebration. Is it? Okay. It was just really quiet. I couldn't hear the coffee brewing. I thought maybe I forgot to turn it on. I knew I put water in, right? Chill, Charlie. I'm recording. So, that's the number 1 priority. It's just making sure we get the... What are you doing? He's like up on his back paws, rubbing his head against my thigh, my knee. He's like, never does that. Normally he just bumps up against my shins when he's begging for attention. Why are you so needy, Charlie? There you go. You get pets. You happy now? All right. So, yeah. I need to get that basement floor done so we can move forward. And then we're going to do the 24-hour stream in celebration of reaching 1,000 followers. I'm thinking maybe Tuesday or Wednesday. Worst case scenario, we do it next week. I don't want to do it Thursday because then I run into that issue of possibly running into the cutoff time where I need to stop streaming because of the Sabbath. So I don't want to do that. I want to make sure that I can just go full on through. So hopefully tomorrow or Wednesday we can do it. What do you need, Charlie? He's just staring at me making weird noises. He stopped making the noises. I don't know if you guys could hear him, but I think he's just really begging for attention, and he's all up against the phone now. So, oh, he's so distracting sometimes. Yes, you. All right. Yeah, the big thing is, while we're waiting for that to brew, I'll take you down and show you the floor so far. It's looking great. So this is the section that I'm finishing right now. It's about the entire surface area of the basement that I painted already in two different sections. So it's taken a little bit longer. Also, I'm painting these supports. This one was already previously painted by the previous owner, and it looks pretty good. I don't think it needs another coat. Maybe I'll probably end up giving it one more coat. So I wouldn't if I didn't need to redo another coat on this one. This one was just bare steel, so I had to sand it to rough it up to get the paint to stick. And you can see it's still not exactly fully covering anything. So I need to do another coat of white on at least this one today. So because of that, we'll probably do another coat of white on this one just to make it more even looking. I don't know if you guys can see it, but to me, it looks like there's a few spots where I just want, because it was like an off-white before. I don't know if it was actually off-white or if it was just painted white once like 30 years ago and turned kind of brown. But the other thing I want to do is touch up. This was just bare concrete. This was a pain in the ass. This is what I was talking about that was just sucking in all the paint. Because it's not even like the wall where it's these thick concrete blocks. I didn't paint this. Whoever had this before did a decent paint job with this, but they used spray paint, like not even like canned spray paint, like one of the actual spray hoses, and it's so nice. I kind of wish I had that because it would make this all go way faster. But this part down here is annoying me. There's like some combination of rust and or water damage or who knows what kind of bleeding through. The part on the floor doesn't matter because this is all going to be covered in gray, and I need to tape this bottom. I'm not super worried about the bottom there, but this middle section, if I weren't getting the white paint out again to repaint that, to do a third coat on that pole, I wouldn't even bother with this. But since I'm gonna have the white paint out today anyways, I'm just gonna do some touch up on those areas where it's bleeding through a little bit. And yeah, then we got to trim the floor. It's gonna take 2 coats of trim. You should always do at least 2 coats of everything. I don't care what anyone else says, no matter how long they've been a professional. Sometimes you can get away with 1 coat of primer, but if you really want it to look even, you got to do 2 coats of primer. And if you're covering like a dark color, this was kind of gray, kind of black. It looked like they had a blackish, greenish gray on it before that kind of wore off, or maybe it was even just like a tar covering or something, but it was terrible. It looked terrible. It already looks infinitely better, but once I get everything the same gray, it's gonna look great. And then I gotta like touch up the little drips here. But like I said, since this is the area I walk on the most, going from like the bathroom to the studio and up the stairs and stuff, it's absolutely fine if this gets 5 coats of gray on here, because then it's just gonna last longer. But we need to do 2 coats of trim and then 2 coats of finish on the whole floor. Just the issue is I don't know how long that's gonna take. It's gonna take less time than it took to do the white primer originally, Mostly because I don't need to paint that damn pillar, that center pillar. That, I swear to God, I spent as much time doing that center pillar as I did the entire rest of the floor because it was just soaking up so much paint. It's going to be really nice when it's done though. I think I left a little too much space in there because we're just going to do the coconut. We don't put as much of the coconut in as we do the pumpkin spice because that's, for whatever reason, the flavor comes through a little more. All right, let's go ahead and taste this unholy amalgamation of 3 different coffees and see what it tastes like. 4 technically, because there was still a tiny bit of that shitty Dollar General coffee in there. Not that Dollar General has shitty coffee in general. You see what I did there? But we got like the bottom shelf stuff. So it kind of tastes like gas station coffee. Like decent gas station coffee, but it still just kind of tastes like gas station coffee. Which makes sense, I guess, because I think one of the issues with like gas station coffee, why gas station coffee doesn't just kind of always taste the same, is because they don't really clean out the coffee maker as well as they should, probably. And eventually, you get a bunch of buildup up there on there, which isn't even necessarily that bad. It's just you get, I forget what it's called. The Keurig used to tell me to de whatever it, but you get that buildup up there, and it kind of just makes it taste like not quite burnt, but maybe slightly overdone coffee, and just everything has that flavor. And that's kind of what this is right now. It's just like that generic gas station, uncleaned coffee maker restaurant coffee. Oh, the uh the coconut cream creamer makes it much much better. All right. So yeah, that is really, hey cat, the plan for today is just to do that tiny bit of third coat of white for on the pillars and do as much of the gray as I can before I get exhausted, and then we'll stream, and hopefully I can get it all done today. It all depends on how long the first coat of finish paint takes, because it needs to be dry enough that I can walk on it, not like stand or set anything on it, but it is, since it's the floor, it needs to be a little bit drier than if we were painting the wall. If you're painting the wall, it can just be dry to touch. But if you're painting the floor and you want to repaint that and you need to walk on it, it needs to be like there's no stickiness or tackiness left, right? Which is probably an extra hour or two. Generally, with latex paint, you're good after like an hour or two if you're doing a wall. If you're doing a floor, I'd say you shouldn't do a floor with latex paint, but it's what I have, so it's what we're using. And as long as you do good coverage, the big issue is you need to wait a month for latex paint to cure. That's just the cat. Don't worry about it. He's over there playing with some paper bags. I don't even know why there's it's just packaging stuff from something. He's doing cat things. So yeah, that's the plan, is to just finish painting the floor today. What I was saying, you got to get the latex paint takes 30 days to cure. And even once it's cured, it's a lot easier to damage than like an oil-based paint, which is why you generally use oil-based or like even an epoxy or something for floors and outdoors. But this is what we got. So this is what we're using. And as you can tell from the rest of the basement, it looks fine. It's held up pretty well, especially once you put a few extra coats on. And yeah, I'm just happy to pretty much have this done at this point. Then we can start working on the bedrooms. The bedrooms are the next thing. I need to talk to my parents and see what colors they want the bedrooms painted. But the way I get through life is one impossible task at a time, you know, and they often make everything more difficult than it needs to be. It's been like 3 days, and I'm still waiting to hear back about what's going on with the dryer. I'll have to ask them again. It's weird, and it feels like I'm the adult sometimes. But yeah. So I don't know what's going on with that. I'm just glad the washer works now. So it actually wrings stuff out, but with the spin cycle really well to the point where it can dry relatively quickly. I need to do bed sheets today. So yeah, the plan for today is while I finish my coffee, take the sheets off the bed and put those in the washer, then hang those up when those are done. Go ahead and do that one area, do those 3 pillars, well, the 2 pillars, and touch up that other pillar with a little bit of the white paint, and then start the gray paint. Now the gray paint should go faster, again, for 2 reasons. One, not painting the pillar gray, so we don't need to worry about it sucking in all that. 2, because it's already been primed. Usually finish coats go faster than primer coats because primer coats suck in a little bit even when it's whatchamacallit, even when it's been like previously painted, because I don't know when the last time that floor was painted or if it was just sealed with something that wasn't even paint, but it was nasty. It was terrible looking, and you were able to see the first, it doesn't spread as evenly and as much before you like run out on the roller when you're doing an uncoated area. And also finish paints are usually thicker and cling better and spread better than primer, at least when you get the good stuff. If you get the cheap stuff, then it's worse than primer. You should never get the worst quality paint for general like applications where it's gonna get beat up. Like if you're just doing like a workshop or something like that, you can get the second to lowest quality. If you just are like, yeah, we're gonna have someone repaint this once a year, make one of the new guys do it or something like that. If you want it to last a couple years, like 3 to 5 years, and I'd say most household applications, theoretically it can go longer than that if it doesn't get beat up, but it's like you can expect it to last 3 to 5 years, get the second best quality of paint, and that works for 99% of scenarios, to be honest. You never really need the best quality paint, but I would say what you would get the best quality paint for would be like a really high quality house, or maybe if you want to do like a corporate showroom or something like that. In most situations, you will be absolutely unable to tell the difference between the best quality paint and the second best quality paint. It's The one difference is that the best quality paint will probably last a little bit longer, and uh, it's going to cost a lot more. So it's one of those things where it's like, if budget is not an issue, then yeah, just get the top quality. But for 95 to 99% of scenarios, the second best quality is really all you need, and it's gonna save you like probably $5 to $10 per gallon, which there's 20 gallons of finished paint on that floor, or there will be once it's done, you know? I think. I'm not entirely sure. I'm just ballparking it there. But there's 15 at least. Uh, you know, that's $150 in extra paint for an almost identical finish that you can't tell. Anyways, I'm done rambling for the day. I've got to get to work. I've not been very focused today. I spent a lot of time daydreaming, like literally just staring at the ceiling and wall, daydreaming about random shit. Like my imagination is on fire today for whatever reason. But no migraines today, so that's good. I almost always wake up with a pretty bad headache, and I have to sit there and deal with the headache. But no headache today. I guess that's why I have so much energy and my brain's just all over the place. So hopefully that's a good sign for the rest of the week. We're going to suck down this coffee, get the laundry started, and then go paint. And I will see you guys live later whenever I eat dinner. Peace. I love all of you. God bless America. Cheers.